Hi, welcome to Notts Today. It's Tuesday. I'm Al Booth. Thank you for being here. I hope you're well. This is what's coming up for you. First, we are going to meet some of the everyday heroes in our community who are doing amazing work as we celebrate World Humanitarian Day.
When people feel powerless about some of the bigger issues that we read about in the news, and you feel like you can't do anything about it, I feel like, okay, but the first step might be help someone locally.
And we've got great guests on the show, as always. We'll have the return of beloved musical, which has come back to the UK for the first time in 12 years. Fiddler on the Roof opens tonight at the Theatre Royal, and we'll catch up with star Dan Wolfe about what it means to play his part in the three-time award-winning production back in his home city. We'll also be joined by Simon Laval from the Department of Workplace and Pensions to talk about the job scene. There's been a big rise in universal credit sign-offs across all age groups. Simon's here to tell you what that means, as well as give you a bit of an insight into the Notts job market as well. And we've got your regular roundup of sport, including the thoughts of Nigel Clough on Mansfield's recent upturn in form ahead of their match against Blackpool this evening.
It was important to get back on track, and I don't think we could have done that in any better way than winning in the Cup and then winning down at Exeter, which I can't remember any team we've had over the years who's got a result down there.
And we'll also hear about the developments in the sale of the City Grounds freehold to Nottingham Forest. The plan for the £10 million sale has been in motion for just over a year, with Nottingham City Council leader Negat Khan hoping for fast progress in September. All that will come up just for you. First though, today marks World Humanitarian Day. It's a day to recognise the work of charities and volunteers all across the globe who dedicate their lives to helping others. And right here in Notts, two organisations are marking the day by highlighting the support they give to some of the city's most vulnerable people by providing them with food, with shelter, or just access to support. Our reporter Maria Angel Acosta has got more.
World Humanitarian Day is about celebrating the spirit of compassion and the people who makes a difference, not just abroad, but also here at home. The Nottingham Refugee Forum is one of those charities at the front line, helping people who have fled their home countries and are trying to rebuild their lives in a new city. Barbara, a volunteer at the forum, highlights why a day like this one is so important for the charity.
Being a humanitarian or doing humanitarian actions is not just about traveling to war zones and helping people there. You can actually do it in your own community. So we always encourage people from the local community to get involved, to volunteer with us, to even just come and visit, maybe sit here in our community cafe for lunch and meet other people. And that is really the best way to break the myths, to break the misconceptions about asylum seekers. It's an opportunity to get involved and do something locally. When people feel powerless about some of the bigger issues that we read about in the news, and you feel like you can't do anything about it, I feel like, okay, but the first step might be help someone locally.
Another organisation is the Open Kitchen, established by the charity Muslim Hands, where hundreds of free hot meals are being served daily. Coordinator Imran Khan spoke about the growing numbers of people coming through their doors.
We've gone up to, on some days, 150 people a day, and we're open every day of the year. And it's getting busier as well. Some days, very rare, but we do run out some days. And we're going to work with this and increase to maybe 160 soon. Just too many expenses. By the time someone's paid for everything, they have nothing left towards the end of the month. So I have people coming in here now who have got part-time jobs and they're on some benefits as well. But if you look at how much the rent and the utilities are nowadays, it's crazy. It's too much. So towards the end of the month, we get extra people coming in.
For both charities, World Humanitarian Day is a reminder that compassion is not only needed in crisis zones, but here within our communities, with neighbours helping those in need. Maria Angel Acosta for Notts TV.
Right, it's time for our first chat of the show now, and we're going to be talking about how the world of employment is looking across our county. Here to guide us through how it is all at the moment is Simon Laval from the Department of Work and Pensions. Hello, welcome back.
Good evening, thanks for having me again.
Right, so let's start with universal credit then, how that's looking at the moment.
With the latest numbers that obviously came in last week for July, we've seen a slight increase in 18 to 24 claiming universal credit, but of course that's because ending education, going back into education and things like that. 50 plus, we've seen a decrease of 8%, which is great. Our work coaches, job centres and employer advisors have been working hard with getting in work and talking to employers about employing people of that age group. And overall, your 25 plus, we've seen a 4% drop as well. I mean, you've got the seasonal work, and Nottingham itself and the county are very healthy for jobs that are out there.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that in a bit. Just mind us, like with universal credit, then. So it's kind of, is it like a buffer before work, or like you say, coming out of education? How does it work?
It can be a buffer for before work. It's not like job seekers. There's different rules and that, which are more claimant friendly, I would say.
Okay.
You can also claim universal credits if you're a low earner, if you've got wages of around £2,000 coming in, but you've got a child and you're on your own, or even in a partnership, you've got housing. It can make your money up to quite a healthy sort of living.
Okay, because there was a while, so I'm just going off script here, but there's a few years ago, it was around lockdown, wasn't it? Just before lockdown, it all sort of came to be one, didn't it?
Yes.
Or universal, I guess.
And it's happening at the moment. That's why, obviously, before the summer, we saw an increase in UC claimants, because they're moving people off the historical benefits like ESA onto UC, so everyone's getting paid the same benefit.
Right, okay.
And it should be easier for people. People don't like change. I don't like change myself, but you know, it's a lot of people who were worried initially have said, yeah, it's okay.
Okay, and that's what you guys are there for as well, isn't it? To help people through it. Yeah. So let's talk about the jobs then. Like you say, things are pretty healthy at the moment.
Pretty healthy. I mean, as usual, like I bang on about every month, there's plenty in care work. Not for everyone, but it's not just sort of your lower level care work. There's management, you know, team leaders and things like that. My own mum did it when she retired from shop work, and she worked her way up and was a scheme manager, and yeah, it's quite rewarding. Giving back sort of elderly people and people with health conditions a life. It's great.
Is there like training opportunities in that as well? I mean,
we do get quite a lot of training. We work very closely with these care companies to try and get people the DBS checks, go into the training. We do what's called sector-based work academy programs, where people go on 4-week, 8-week training with these companies to have a look at it. Get a guaranteed interview. Like I say, it's not for everyone, but it's not just you're cleaning up after people.
Yeah, but also that's great, because like you say, it's not for everyone. But if you're thinking like, I want to do it, but I haven't got the qualifications, or like you say with your own mum, you know, my background isn't in that, then there's no barriers there to.
Absolutely not. No, and it's a springboard then. You've got more on your CV. Say you've been sort of a mother or a father looking after the kids, not got much on your CV, although parenting is the hardest job in the world. You've got that on your CV, and you can build it up like a work history.
Okay. What else is out there as well? So that's
security. There's lots of security work. So we're working closely with people like Magpie Security. They're looking to recruit SIA badge holders, but yesterday something started with another security company where they will pay for the SIA badge, which can be a sort of a hindrance to people starting work.
That's like before with the caring. That's kind of the opportunity, the
Absolutely.
doorway in, isn't it, the gateway in.
These sector-based, sorry, I've interrupted. These sector-based work academy programs, they really do work. Employers like them. They can have a look at people. It's like an open air CV, isn't it? They've looked at your CV, but then they can see how you're doing for 4 to 8 weeks. Guaranteed interview, and you can see if you like it yourself as well.
Okay. Where can people go to find out more? Not just about the jobs, but the other help that you offer as well.
Get on if you're on Universal Credit. Ask to speak to a work coach. You can go on gov.uk, find a job. It's all advertised on there. And like I say a lot, because I like to help people out, you can get your childcare paid up front, you know, the deposit. You can get help with childcare if that's going to stop you going to work. You can get your travel costs for the first month until you get your first pay packet. You know, all barriers that have been there can be overcome.
Brilliant. That's great. Thanks, Simon.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Right, let's see what else is happening in Notts today. And a murder investigation has been launched after a man was found dead in his home. Officers were called to the address on New Haven Avenue in Mansfield Woodhouse around 6:20 last Sunday. Paramedics discovered the body of a 50-year-old man, and it's believed he was injured following a disturbance in the street from the previous day. Detectives say they are supporting the victim's family, and it is believed to be an isolated incident, but they also wish to speak to any witnesses who may have any information. If that's you, you can get in touch by calling them on 101. And an online sex offender who was caught trying to groom who he believed was a 13-year-old girl has been jailed. 70-year-old Giampero Franchi was actually speaking to an undercover police officer on an online chat room in July 2024. His phone and his other devices were then seized. That's where officers found indecent images, as well as messages to young children. Franchi of Kingswood Road in Nottingham admitted inciting a girl 13 to engage in sexual activity and possessing indecent images. At Nottingham Crown Court on Thursday, he was jailed for 5 years. Right, still to come, imagine as a kid going to watch the theatre and thinking, I quite fancy that, and then gone on a whole UK tour and coming back to the place where it all began. Well, we'll be talking to someone who's done just that and is the star of one of the most iconic musicals around that's coming back to Notts. Next, we'll also have all your sports roundup for you as well. Hello, welcome back to Notts Today with me, Alan Booth. This is what's happening in our county. The leader of Nottingham City Council has raised concerns regarding Marilyn Manson's scheduled performance at the Motorpoint Arena later this year. The American rock star was under investigation earlier this year following allegations of sexual assault and domestic violence. The singer has repeatedly denied those, but that has also prompted one of the UK tour venues to cancel his performance. Now, Negat Khan, who's the leader of the City Council, has issued a statement expressing her concerns. She says he does not reflect what the city's values are. Motorpoint Arena has declined to comment at this present time. Now, Ashfield District Council has announced a consultation that will look to gather the public's views of a regeneration project of the Hucknall Central Walk and Chapel Street. The plans, funded through the UK Shared Prosperity Fund, will see more than £600,000 investment into the area, and that will look to enhance the visuals, the safety and the accessibility of the town centre. They also hope a more welcoming environment will be created, growing footfall and bringing local investment into the area as well. Public consultation will go live on September the 5th and it will be held near Hucknall Market. Right, time for our next brilliant guest now, and we're going to talk about what is considered to be the theatre event of the year. Fiddler on the Roof has come back to the UK after 12 years. For 1 week only, the acclaimed production is calling the Theatre Royal its home as well. The show tells the tale of a father and his 5 daughters during the early 1900s as his family navigate tradition, love and societal changes. Also on this journey is Motel the Tailor, and that is played by Nottingham's own Dan Wolfe. I caught up with him as he prepared to go on stage for the first time in his home city. Hello, welcome welcome to Nottingham, welcome back to Nottingham. So before we get into your background and everything, let's talk first about your character and your role in this production.
Yeah, I play the role of Mottle Camsoil, who is a very hardworking, very poor, very passionate tailor in the village. And I've got my own shop and everything. And Mottle's journey through the piece is he's in love with Seitel, who's one of the daughters, who is the eldest daughter of Tevye, the milkman, who is the kind of protagonist of the story. And they're trying to marry Seitel off to a richer, older man, and Mottle has to kind of pluck up the courage to ask for Seitel's hand so that they can get married. And he's a great guy.
You sound very proud when you said he's got his own shop. He's like, I've got my own shop. So let's talk about you then. Let's talk about you being back home. What's it like? So just tell us a bit about your background first of all.
Yeah, I grew up in West Bridgford. I grew up just about 10 minutes away from the river. I was at school in West Bridgford. I then went to college at Bilborough College for my A-levels. And then from there, I ended up going to drama school in London. So I've got, I grew up in Nottingham. I went to different youth theatre groups. I played football. I played music. All my memories are here. So it's great to be back.
So I was going to say, this is where that seed of creativity, of wanting to perform, was first planted. Can you remember the first production you saw and where it was?
It would have been at Nottingham Playhouse, which I say quietly, working here at Nottingham Theatre Royal. I think they're all friends, so I think it's fine. So. But I think one of my earliest memories is the pantomime there. I think it's very common for sort of young kids and families to go to the pantomime, and that be the first kind of spark. But I remember going there, probably would have been about 20 years ago, even more, and just being completely taken and sort of being, whirled away by that world on stage. Really, really kind of visceral, having a real visceral impact on me.
So now being home and performing in such an iconic show as well, how does it feel?
I'm really proud. I mean, you're right. It is an iconic show. People love it. I think this production that we've done, we've taken a lot of care with it. I think it's a really great production. I think it's really important, and it's lovely. It's the first time I've worked in Nottingham professionally since leaving. So to come back with this show, which I really care about, which I think is a really great show, I'm really proud, and I'm really excited to share it with the audiences here.
And obviously being on stage and seeing the production itself is going to be huge, and being part of it is huge. Do you have downtime? Do you get to come and sort of see the old sites and take your fellow actors around town?
Yeah, we have a sort of schedule that runs from about Tuesday to Saturday, and within that schedule we've got 8 shows, so there's not loads of time. I managed to get here on Sunday, so I managed to catch the football on Sunday afternoon, which was great. Spent some time with my family yesterday, and then I'm sure on Friday I'll try and take some of the cast on some sort of day trip somewhere, show them the sights of Nottingham.
Got to take them to the photo with Robin Hood, pint in the trip. That's the tourism bit, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I've never even done that. I mean, I lived here for nearly 20 years, and I've never even done that. It would be a first for me as well.
Oh, there you go. You're all in it together. Just remind us when the performances take place and how people can see them.
Yeah, we're here from Tuesday, 19th of August. Our first show is in the evening. We're running until Saturday, which I believe is the 23rd, off the top of my head. And we've got matinees on Wednesday and Thursday and Saturday. So we've got 8 shows. We're at the Theatre Royal Concert Hall. Come and see us. It's a wonderful, wonderful day out.
Absolutely. And from everyone here at Notts TV, welcome home.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
All right, let's move from the theatre to sport now. And Mansfield will be looking to make it 3 wins from 3 in all competitions tonight against Blackpool. The Stags rebounded from a tricky start to the season with back-to-back wins away from home against Exeter and Gillingham. And that's something which manager Nigel Clough hopes to build on.
Yeah, it's lifted everybody's spirits after the opening 2 defeats in the league. Unbelievably close. All 3 games have been incredibly close in the league, and obviously the cup game as well. And I think that's an indication of how it's going to be for the rest of the season. But having lost the opening 2 narrowly, it was important to get back on track. And I don't think we could have done that in any better way than winning in the cup. And then winning down at Exeter, which I can't remember any team we've had over the years who's got a result down there recently, because it's a very, very tough place to go, especially on the back of a long journey for everybody, supporters alike. And then, of course, going back to the cup game, we get our rewards with a great draw going to the new Everton Stadium.
Nottingham Forest have completed the signing of 23-year-old Arnaud Kalimendu. The forward joins on a 5-year deal from Stade Rennais after 22 goal involvements in the 34 appearances for the French Ligue 1 side. The fee is reported to be around 25 million. That takes Forest over £100 million spent since Friday, as the club look to bolster their attacking options for the new campaign. And there are rumours they're not finished yet. Nottingham City Council leader Naget Khan has provided an update on the sale of the City Grounds freehold to Nottingham Forest as well. Well, the club had reportedly agreed a deal to buy the land for £10 million, provided that they get the planning permission to redevelop the City Grounds Peter Taylor stand and also to increase the capacity there. That was granted back in June by Rushcliffe Council. In the latest update, Negat Khan says things are progressing well, but that she would like to hear from the club by the end of September about the conclusion of the land deal. It's believed the signing of players is the current main focus of Forest, while the transfer window is still open. Like, look, we're just trying to play football, we'll come back to you, okay? Now, a former Notts County B team coach has become the first Sikh manager of a professional British football club. That's after he joined Morecambe. Ashveer Singh Johal replaces Derek Adams, who was sacked on Monday after the Shrimps takeover by the Punjab Warriors consortium at the weekend. The 30-year-old is also the youngest manager in the top 5 tiers of English football, with much of his experience coming from 10 years spent working at Leicester City. Singh Johal has also worked with former Premier League star Kolo Touré and Cesc Fabregas during his development as a coach. And staying with Notts County coach, Martin Patterson says the way the season has begun at the moment is hurting him, although he has also said he's determined to turn things around and get Notts County back on track. Of course, only a couple of games in, they'll be fine. Don't worry, it's early days. Now, in cricket, the Trent Rockets were in action this afternoon. Both the men and women's sides took on the Manchester Originals at Trent Bridge. Manchester Originals women beat Trent Rockets by 10 wickets. That was confirmed as we went on air, actually. That means that Trent Rockets women remain 6th in the table, but unless there is a mathematical miracle, which I certainly can't work out, it unfortunately means they are all but eliminated. The men are due to get underway at 6:30, and the Rockets are looking to retain second place in the table by maintaining their good form. However, if they do that, a win would put the home side in a great position to reach the knockouts with just 3 matches left to play. Right, it's time for a look at your picture of the day now. Look at this beautiful picture of a bumblebee at University Park. I mean, to be fair, that could be anywhere, but take our word for it, it's University Park. Thanks to Rachel Hops for this one. If you would like to send us your photo, it can be anything as long as it's taken in Nottinghamshire, you can send it to @Notts_TV. We are on Twitter, you probably call it X like all the kids, Facebook and Instagram is where we are at. Now, for your weather, it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag of sunshine. There's going to be cloudy skies over the coming days. It's definitely getting a bit cooler, isn't it? Dropping to 13 degrees tonight. Into tomorrow, we'll see the sun peeking its cheeky little head out behind the clouds. Highs of 21 degrees and then into 11 as you go overnight into Thursday. Again, the sunshine will be out, but it's 20 degrees. We're still technically in summer, but you know, we did the interview earlier where Dan mentioned Panto. It's too early to talk about winter just yet, but you know, all the Halloween stuff's up in the shops already, isn't it? So, right, thank you for being here with me today. Mark Dennison is going to be back with you tomorrow at 5:30 for all you need to know and you're good to know around our county. I'll see you again on Thursday. In the meantime, have a good evening. See you soon. Bye-bye.